Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigbot here, and welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to talk about the very best 6 teams that you can have as a free-to-play player, and I'm going to kind of exclude one of them and only mention it at the end because I think for this kind of video that requires too much investment, but we'll also talk about that one. But in this video, I'm going to try to kind of set for you some achievable goals in terms of teams that you can get without too much struggle and without too many gems wasted. But keep in mind, when you're watching this video, no matter when you're watching this video, most likely half of the teams that I'm going to show you are not going to be acquirable for you, because this very much depends on when the characters challenges are available for the characters that we're going to have in those teams, if there's a chest on sale for them. It depends on a lot of things. So when you watch this, something might be easy to obtain, something might be hard to obtain, and that will change in the past. This is somewhat of a gradual progress that you're going to make. It's not going to be a video about, oh, you just have some stuff in your roster, use it, use that Hellboy, max out the third special, because that doesn't help anybody. Those are teams that actually work, and it might be a little bit hard to attain some and easier to attain others, depending on when you're watching this video and when you try to build them. And the criteria for this video is going to be basically something that works with no pay-to-win artifacts, no beta club, nor Sword of Sin or stuff like that. At the same time, stuff that doesn't require that much investment. I'm looking at you, Raven plus Manta. But mainly, this is going to be basically the top 6 teams for free-to-play. So yeah, all that being said, let's get into it. First up, I'm gonna gloss over 2 honorable mentions. Those are not teams that are going to make it in the top 6 teams, but you can use them as a replacement until you get the top 6 teams. Also, don't go out of your way to get those characters, but feel free to use those characters if you're going to have them in your roster anyway. Because, for example, you got the Multiverse team. The Multiverse team really is not on par with the other teams, but at the same time is going to be a decent team until you have 6 better teams than it. And you need Multiverse Armor Supergirl, and she comes around when is the anniversary, which is going to be kind of a little bit of time after making this video. I don't know when they will drop the arena specifically, but it should be in the next following week. So if you're watching this video on release, you might get your hands on a Multiverse Armored Supergirl. Also, you need to have Multiverse of Flash as well. He's got an arena season, you can get him from there. He's crucial for the Multiverse team, and at the same time, you are going to need a third character. For a third character, there are plenty of options. You can use Red Hood, you can use Multiverse Green Arrow, you can use Multiverse Supergirl if you think your team is going to die. You can use Atrocitus for buffs on tag-ins. So for the third one, it's going to be up to you. And also at the same time, you don't really need all the gears for Multiverse Flash. You need like 1 or 2 of them to make sure he doesn't die, and if you play it properly, you're going to be fine using this team. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. Another honorable mention, and again, don't go out of your way to get this, don't open any chests to get this, but if you happen to start a game when there's a Black Adam arena season, then you can use him as a damage dealer for a while. He doesn't really have that many things that make him good towards being a damage dealer, and he really falls off in terms of damage in comparison to the other teams, but it's something that you can use if you have it anyway. You can give him Power Girl if you don't have Silver Banshee, and if you do have Silver Banshee, you can just give him random stuff. He can do with anything, Atrocitus, Silver Bane, a lot of things will work for this team. Just make sure you put something in the team that adds a little bit of something to him, and you're going to be fine. Doesn't have a specific team, doesn't need power reduction, he's just gonna be fine. Just spam his third special, don't bother with trying to reduce your cost with special 1. And yeah, you can get his gears also from the arena store, so that's also a bonus. Again, don't go out of your way to get him or build him, only if it's there and you don't have many other options. Now, entering the proper top 6 teams territory, we're going to have the Justice League team. Justice League team is going to be composed mainly of Justice League Flash and Justice League Cyborg. Justice League Flash is going to be an arena season character with his gears in the arena store as far as I remember, and Cyborg is going to be a character that you'll have to acquire through a chest, though there's a chest that can get you Cyborg very easily. It's called the Justice League Shard chest. That's going to have only Justice League characters with a chance to drop shards for them. That's not going to be particularly a great chest in general, but can very very easily unlock Cyborg because he unlocks at 2 stars and you can pick up the pace from there with League requests and with Champions Arena shards. So to put this in together, you just need those 2 characters. The Cyborg gears are gonna be hard to come by, though you don't need to build him, you only need to build Flash. And for 3rd character, you can use just like Aquaman when you have fights that have armor, and when you have fights that don't have armor, you can put a Silver Bane in there, and pretty much anything you want. The core 2 characters are gonna be just like Flash and Cyborg. Also, Aquaman is going to be another Arena season character, so that's going to be also a bonus there. And they go very well with the Dark Metal cards. I put this team all the way to top 6 because they do slightly less damage than a lot of other teams in this list, and they also require kind of a lot of skill because you need to be constantly combo interrupting. If you can't combo interrupt, you can swap the Dark Metal cards from Flash with a God Killer and try to do an infinite combo that way, or use the special 2 and try to rely on stuns to infinite combo the enemy. But the most optimal option is to combo interrupt, and it's going to be requiring a little bit of a skill cap in order to be played properly, but definitely a team that you can use regardless. Next up, we're going to have Collector vs Superman and Brainiac. Brainiac is a character that buffs legendary characters very well, and Collector vs Superman is not a particularly great legendary character. He just happens to have a challenge where you can get his shards for free. And since Brainiac only buffs the stats of legendary characters, you're most likely going to use the Collector vs Superman for this team. You should farm their challenges, don't gem refresh, especially for the Collector vs Superman challenge, don't gem refresh it, just slowly get the shards and you'll eventually get it. For Brainiac, it's understandable to an extent to refresh the challenge to get shards faster, but not necessarily work in all situations. Their gears are gonna drop from their challenges, so you're going to be able to have all of them geared up, and eventually you would wanna replace the Collector vs Superman with a Manta, but that's gonna be quite a lot of investment for not that much improvement of performance compared to if you were to spend your gems to get other characters that we'll talk about afterwards. Also, after you get Manta, you might as well use him with Raven if you play it properly and deal 2 billion damage, but yeah, that's a story for another day. For now, get Collector vs Superman from the challenge and use Brainiac to buff him up. Keep in mind the strategy works to a little bit worse or a little bit better depending on the random legendary with any legendary in the game, so I'm not saying go out of your way to get yourself an Enchantress and start doing this. I'm just saying if you randomly happen upon a legendary character at the start of the game, for example Darkseid or Arkham Knight Batman, those also have gears and you could open them if you're very lucky from the hero chests or the premium chests that you're gonna open at the start of the game. If you randomly get those, they are going to work as well with this team, so you can feel free to give them Brainiac if you don't have Collector unlocked yet. But yeah, let's move on. Next team that you can use, and it's going to be a very good team for a very long time, the Justice League team, and the Collector team might be cycled out of your best team depending on what you do, and the Serbench team kind of fits into the same category, but it's gonna be a team that you can build to perfection very early on, and the team that's going to be quite easy to acquire, again depending on your luck in terms of when you start the game, when you're watching this video, because Serbench is gonna be a character that has a premium chest and has a challenge. Now I can't predict when the challenge will be up for farming or when the premium chest will be in the store. You might not get Serbench for half a year after watching this video, or you might be able to acquire her straight away, but you are going to need her as a damage dealer, and you're going to pair her up with Reverse Flash and Power Girl. Both of them are characters that can be found in the League store, and you can purchase for League credits. And it's going to be a very good team. It's going to require a little bit of getting used to in terms of gameplay, but it's going to be a very versatile team. And Serbench is a far more versatile character than you might think at first glance. She can even fight in fights where you have locked tag-ins and you need to stay with one character in a fight, or you have let's say characters that will stun you on tagging. She can get down and dirty in there and really make things work because she has a base defense of 75%. I'm not kidding, she's got maxed out defense by default, and she deals a very good amount of damage while you start playing her well. So definitely go for the Serbench team. This is going to be a team that's going to be a very worthwhile investment for a long time. Next up we have ourselves the Batman Ninja team. This team might be a little bit harder to acquire, but in the end you're going to have a challenge for Batman Ninja Catwoman and Batman Ninja Robin and Grodd, all of them being all the characters you pretty much need for this team. You're going to have arena seasons for Catwoman and Robin, and you're going to need the gears for this team, so this team might slip a little bit in your roster even though you have the characters, but all you need to get is start this is 2 to 3 gears on Catwoman, because she's gonna be the only one that needs to be built. Also, if you have Catwoman and Robin and still missing a few gears, still missing a few shards for Grodd, don't rush getting Grodd, because while he's a very good character for this team, he can easily be replaced. The important thing for this team is to have Robin in there, because he's going to give you lethal attack damage, and he should be the one you actually focus on maxing out the star rate to 6 stars, because his passive is what actually gives damage to the Batman Ninja team. A little bit of a mention, if you literally have nothing else to build and you still haven't dropped gears for Catwoman, you can actually replace her with Batman Ninja or Joker, paired up with Robin and Grodd if you have it, and Joker will make decent use of that lethal attack damage that Robin has. Also, if you need yourself a Grodd, look for the World Domination chest that has an 8% chance to drop 200 hearts for him, making it an easy unlock for Grodd. But with the R2 characters, don't try chests for them, just play the arena seasons and farm the challenges. The challenges are going to require League of Anarchy characters to farm, and those are going to be quite hard to come by, but at the same time those are characters that you eventually really want to get anyway, so you're not getting them specifically to farm the challenge, you should try and get them anyway. So yeah, might take a while until you put this team together, but you put it together, you give Catwoman Dark Metal cards, and you watch insane damage values. Like, it's basically the following way. All the teams that I have presented previously, in the top 6 at the very least, were, let's say, teams that did half the Batman Ninja team damage, and then there's the Batman Ninja team damage that doubles pretty much the damage bar for this ranking, and then we're going to have even better stuff later on, but yeah, Batman Ninja team is definitely going to be something that you're most likely never gonna cycle out of your top 6 teams. And if you happen to have Beta Club, this is gonna get even more insane, but even without Beta Club, they definitely do deserve the spot. Okay, so there was a little bit of a mistake. It's not really gonna be a top 6 teams. I was gonna say, but I forgot at the start, that the Just League team and Collector vs Superman team are going to kind of share the same spots, because we are going to have like 3 more teams in this video. So sorry for the confusion. But look, you're just getting an additional team in the top 6. You couldn't be happier, am I right? But we're going to have here the Kinflan Sakomen team. Kinflan Sakomen uses the stuff that you should get as early as possible, because he's in the League Store and is going to be the best character in the League Store because of one thing. He deals percentage health damage out of the enemy's current health against bosses in League raids and Soul raids. And that value is not going to be modified by building him or by pairing it up with other characters. It's gonna be a value that's going to be amazing from 0 investment. It's gonna be great even after you build him, he's gonna be even better, but you don't have to have him built to get a lot of value out of him. And he just got so much better with the addition of Nora Snowglow, because now the clones also have access to that mechanic of dealing percentage health damage with their 3rd special. So if you manage to get Nora Snowglow, which is the free artifact in on ice raids, he's gonna be even better. You should pair him up with Dr. Fate for reduced power bar cost, and Shazam if you have him. Again, don't go out of your way to get Shazam, he's not vital for the team. Then you can swap him out for Red Hood, Silver Bane, Classic Wonder Woman. There's lots of stuff you can put in there, but you really need Dr. Fate for the power cost reduction and Kinflan Sakomen. Dr. Fate has even a campaign fight that you can farm in the last chapter of Heroic, and yeah, Kinflan Sakomen from the League Store. But yeah, all that being said, let's move on. Coming in at number 2, we have the Batman Who Laughs Deathstroke team. And I know what you're thinking, Sigval, this is free to play, how you want me to get to legendary characters? Save up your gems, don't open every random chest you see in the store, wait for a sale and you might get them, or you might drop them for free from the soul rates, even though it almost never happens to me. But yeah, those 2 characters, even though they are legendary characters and they're gonna be a little bit harder to get for the most part, they are going to be characters that are going to be in a very similar spot as Kinflan Sakomen. They don't need gears to be good, and they're going to be very good regardless of the star rating. Because, yet again, they deal percentage hull damage, and the percentage hull damage is not going to be affected by their build. And Deathstroke on top of that also has the synergy that Kinflan Sakomen has with Nora Snowglobe, and he's far better than Kinflan Sakomen, at the very least in my opinion, at dealing percentage health damage. You don't have to put both of them in the same team from the start. You can just get one and get the other afterwards. You can switch them around in other teams. You can have Ben Hulas, for example, as a combo builder for Kinflan Sakomen if you're going for full percentage health damage with that team, and then have Deathstroke separately to do his own thing. But those are going to be the two legendary characters that you're going to get the most use out of as soon as you get them. It's arguable with Raven because it depends on also what you have to be buffed by Raven. If you already have the League of Anarchy, then Raven should be the second priority after Deathstroke and then Ben Laughs, but those are going to be amazing for you with almost no investment. You just need to unlock them, and that might be the hardest part, but once you do, it's gonna be so much easier. So much easier. Like, they are just leagues above the other teams because they basically scale along with the soul rate, because the higher you go in heroic, your Bad Ninja team, let's say, will do 200 million to a fight that has 200 million health, and will also do 200 million to a fight that has 2 billion health. While Balloon Flaps and Deathstroke will deal more and more damage the more health the enemy has, and the same applies for Kinflan Sakomen. So I know they might seem hard to get, but they are going to do amazing work for you once you get them. And last but not least, we're going to have the League of Anarchy. Look, this is going to be most likely the hardest one to get, because you're going to have to open a chest for the League of Anarchy characters. They also need their gears, so you're most likely gonna have, unless you got crazy lucky with the drops or you got to farm a very rare challenge for them, you're most likely gonna have to open the League of Anarchy gear just to get their gears. But once you do that, this is going to be far better than anything your account saw so far. And there's different states of this team that you can use. Like, first stage, the minimum requirements. You have less of Joker with a few gears, EPI doesn't need gears, and you're going to also have a random support character like a Just Like Flash or Silver Bane in there. That's the minimum you can do with this team. Then there's the upgraded version, where you put Predator Batman with Harbeck Harley Quinn in there, and Harbeck Harley Quinn will become the damage dealer. In between this is another team where you can use Harbeck Harley Quinn to give you that additional damage to stun targets, and use Entangling Poison Ivy as the damage dealer, and she stuns the targets and damages them if you don't have, let's say, gears for Harley. And then there's the further upgraded version. When you have Raven, you can pretty much one-shot anything in the game that's not dot immune or dot resistant with this team. It's gonna be a team that will keep scaling up. And they're amazing, but they're gonna be a little bit of a struggle to get. Also, something worth mentioning, there's also the Manta plus Raven team, which is arguably the absolute best team for free-to-play players. But for that you need a 5 to 6 star Raven and a 5 to 6 star Manta. Manta needs to have gears. So it's gonna be something that a lot of you are going to be locked out of for a very long time, but I thought I would mention it because you might at some point want to get that. But yeah, all that being said, thanks so much for watching. Like it if you've liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye!
This is the future.